Hi, and welcome to the Quantum Success Show, where we provide all the information and inspiration you need to create a life that you truly love. My name is Christy Whitman. I'm a Master Certified Law of Attraction Coach and the founder of the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. And for nearly 20 years, I've been studying, applying, and teaching others how to utilize universal principles like those I'm about to share with you here to deliberately create the experiences that you most desire in every aspect of your life. Now, because my most recent book, Quantum Success, is all about guiding people to create the next level of joy and fulfillment and prosperity in the area of their career expression, I'm going to invite you to apply the distinctions that I'll be sharing with you today to the intention of creating greater career success. But if that's not a primary area that you're focused on right now, or if you have another intention that you feel more passionate about to bring into fruition, just know that you can apply everything in today's segment and those that preceded it to creating more of what you desire in literally every aspect of your life, because these principles are universal. So with that said, let's get right into today's topic, breaking free from the status quo. The phrase status quo is Latin, and it's defined as the state of affairs that exists at any particular time, especially in contrast to a different possible state of affairs. So there is an existing status quo or state of affairs in every aspect of your life that is the manifested or outpicturing of everything that you've experienced in that area of your life so far. So in the case of your career expression, the current state of affairs includes what you do in the world, the job that you have or don't have, and how you feel day in and day out as you contemplate your career. The status quo is the what already is reality that can be quantified by looking at the current circumstances that surround you. The number of dollars presently in your checking account, the number of clients you now serve, the level of enthusiasm and creativity you experience while you're working, and the ease or the difficulty with which you create the results that you create. Now, in truth, there really is no status quo, in the sense that every moment provides a brand new opportunity to approach our lives in a completely different way and to therefore create an entirely different range of results. But what most people don't realize or understand is that by giving our attention to the current conditions we find ourselves in, we encourage them to continue playing out exactly as they have been, and we also perpetuate the continuation of the very conditions in our future. This might sound kind of out there, but let me give you a real tangible example of how this works, because once you start looking for this dynamic, you'll see how incredibly common it is. I once coached a client, I'll call her Jody, who came to me just after she had been promoted to a management position within a company where she had worked for over 10 years. She was chosen for the promotion among a group of about a dozen other people who she had worked with as equals for all that time. So her new status ruffled the feathers of some of her former colleagues. Jody came to me because she was having a hard time showing up as the powerful leader that she felt that she had the potential to be, and she wanted to find her footing in her new position. So as I talked with Jody, trying to narrow in on the times and situations when she felt less empowered, she told me that there was one employee in particular, I'm going to call him David, who Jody consistently had trouble with. In her view, David argued all the time, nearly every one of her suggestions, and at times refused to follow her directions at all. The first few sessions of our coaching relationship were centered around Jody telling me just how uncooperative David was and how powerless she felt to show up as her best self anytime he was around. She even went so far, as most of us do, as to create a story to explain David's hostility towards her. She believed that he was jealous of her promotion and was dead set on making it hard for her to succeed so that he could either, get by for the job that himself, or at least content himself with the idea that he could do a better job than she was doing. So you see how this plot is thickening already, right? Well, what Jody did not know is that at the time, I was also coaching another manager in her company who had also frequent interactions with David, and her experience of working with him was entirely different than what Jody described. This is the power of our perception. By giving the majority of her attention to only David's uncooperative aspects, the only parts of him that Jody was able to perceive and experience were the qualities that aggravated her and reinforced her low opinion of him. This is the essence of law of attraction. What we focus on is exactly what we create. But until we understand this principle and gain a little practice at attracting on purpose, our perception is a lot like Jody's, that life is just happening to us, and the best we could do is try to control our reactions to what's actually happening. Now, I know for sure that you've had an experience or two similar to this one where someone in your life, either in your family or your circle of friends or even at work, someone rubs you the wrong way or even infuriates you, and you just can't seem to understand how others seem to work well with this person or enjoy their company. But the reason I'm sharing Jody's experience with you today is because it's such a perfect case in point that whenever we find ourselves in an unwanted situation or with what we consider to be an unpleasant person, we have two fundamental paths that we can choose to take. We can perpetuate the momentum of the status quo by continuing to see the situation as it has been, and in doing so, continue to find evidence to support that perception, or we can break free from the status quo by choosing to see it in an entirely different light. One road leaves us forever a victim and at the mercy of other people's actions and attitudes, and the other leads to incredible personal empowerment. Now, the really mind-blowing thing, at least in the beginning, is that neither of these perceptions is the truth. In the previous example, David is neither inherently cooperative or uncooperative person to work with. It's our perception that creates what becomes true for us. So if you want to change any outcome you're living in any area of your life, you must begin to change your perception of it. So I'd like to guide you in a process right now that will support you in doing just that, stepping out of the story you've been telling yourself about some aspect of your life that's not going as well as you'd like it to, and begin to create a new possibility for yourself by deliberately choosing a new and more empowering way of perceiving it. So go ahead and prepare your environment in such a way that you're unlikely to be disturbed for the next 5 minutes. And when you're ready, just gently close your eyes. And I'd like you to begin by imagining that the status quo you're now living in the area of your career or in relation to the level of fitness and well-being you experience in your body, or the degree of satisfaction you feel in your personal relationships. Just imagine that this aspect of your life is like a gravitational force that is made up of all the experiences, the conclusions, and the stories that you've come to believe and expect as a result of everything you've lived in the past. This is the status quo, and it's made up of all of your habitual actions, your most practiced patterns of thought, and the mood or attitude that you most often hold towards this part of your life. Just acknowledge that your thoughts, your belief, your chronic moods and behaviors, all of these things are nothing but energy in motion, and that this energy resonates or vibrates at a particular frequency. So just allow yourself to see this frequency visually in your mind's eye, to notice it's like an atmosphere that you can sense, and that this status quo atmosphere continues to take shape, and allow yourself to perceive the quality of it, the density or lightness of it, the color and the texture of it. And just acknowledge yourself that this environment has been allowed to persist simply because you continue to notice it, and that you could, in this moment, choose to direct the powerful process, the powerful focus of your attention on an entirely different reality. And in time, an entirely different reality will begin to emerge. So give yourself permission right here, right now, to have that shift occur today as a result of your powerful, deliberate intent. And as you're noticing the energy, the color, the weight, the vibe of the environment that you're beginning to perpetuate in this area of your life, do your best not to make it wrong or to make yourself wrong for creating it. Instead, allow yourself to feel appreciation for how much you've been able to accomplish, both in terms of external results and in terms of your own degree of happiness, even in spite of this heavy atmosphere. And acknowledge also how much easier creating what you want will be once you clear this environment of anything that's not serving you or of your desired outcome. So with another breath, just declare that you're ready to break free of this atmosphere. You're ready to let go of the status quo in order to create something new and extraordinary and unprecedented in this area of your life. Begin to view the vibrational atmosphere that has been surrounding this area of your life as a gravitational force. There's a momentum to it that makes it easier for you to continue down the same path of thought and mood and behavior for the simple reason that these are the paths you've taken in the past. And now, understanding that everything is made of energy, including your thoughts, your attitudes, your expectations, your behaviors, acknowledge yourself that these are all changeable because energy is always in motion and continually changing form. Give yourself permission to break free from the lower, slower energy that you've been previously creating and into a higher frequency. You can use your breath to locate any parts of your body that are holding on to a perspective of lack or doubt or fear. And then imagine that like a dam, that this is no longer able to hold back the pressure of water that wants to flow. The energy of lack is just being released from your body and your mind. And just take as much time as you need to experience this release. And now, I'd like you to conjure before you the image of a spacecraft of your choice. It could be a rocket, a jet-propelled spacesuit, or a full-blown spaceship, however you envision it. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to board this powerful vehicle and allow it to take you through this atmosphere until you are floating far above it where the air is clear. So go ahead and imagine yourself doing this. Feel the power. Get inside this aircraft. Feel the power of the engines as they gather momentum. And with your next deep breath, feel the powerful liftoff. The higher you go, the lighter and freer you feel. As you look out the window or out the horizon ahead of you, notice the difference in the way the atmosphere looks up here. Notice how far you can see. Notice the clarity and the absence of resistance. Just enjoy the sensation. Where you've been previously held back by limitation, you are now floating in the field of all possibilities. Where you've had the experience of lack, you're now seeing the billions of planets and stars before you and realizing the unending abundant nature of you and the universe that you are part of. Feel the breath of fresh air of acknowledging that you are, that every human being is capable of creating infinite possibilities, and that you get to choose the vibration that you wish to perpetuate in this area of your life. And now standing in this new space, where the environment is fresh and clear, allow yourself to connect with the quality of the environment that you like to experience in this area of your life. How would you like to feel on the drive into work? Or as you zip up your favorite pair of jeans? Or as you meet with the person you previously perceived as difficult? Take a few moments of silence to breathe in this new frequency, to allow it to rearrange for you at a deep cellular level. You're tuning the instrument of your energy body to be in resonance with the most beautiful outcome you can conceive in this area of your life, knowing that there is no end to the beauty that you can create. And just make a commitment to yourself for the coming week to remind yourself of this frequency. Nurture it with your attention and deliberately conjure it at the beginning of each day or before an important meeting or interaction. Take responsibility. Become responsible for making this energy, this part of your life, as beautiful as you can, as beautiful as possible. And enjoy the knowledge that you have the power to bring good with you everywhere you go. So when you're ready, taking as much time as you need, go ahead and gently open your eyes. You might want to take a few moments after the video to write about anything you experienced during this process, or just sit quietly and enjoy the shift that's occurred. Just remember that you have the power in any moment to shift your perception, to slow down the momentum of anything that's been in your past, and to shift your pattern of thinking and propel yourself out of the gravity of the story you've been telling yourself about any situation or person in your life, including yourself. And although shifting your attention in this way will take some practice at first, when you master it, you will break through past limitations and into an entirely different reality. So I invite you to click in the link below and pre-order your copy of my new book, Quantum Success, The 7 Essential Laws for a Thriving, Joyful, and Prosperous Relationship with Work and Money. So thank you for joining me today. I really look forward to seeing you again soon.